Now, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy that says the world is gonna end, everything is just gonna die. But today I'm gonna be that guy a little bit. Now, what do I mean by saying that the internet is dead? Now, what I mean by that is that we have this new tool called artificial intelligence. And what it's doing is it's essentially giving any person the ability to mass produce content online. So like if you go on, on YouTube or on TikTok or on Instagram, you're bound to find some form of AI slop, right? And what kind of prompted me to make this video was a tweet, or rather a thing Mr. Beast did. Which, if you don't know who Mr. Beast is, just Google him. I mean, immediate. He is the biggest YouTuber on YouTube. He turned YouTube into a company, like an actual mega company. And what he created this company called ViewStats, which is essentially just a tool to help YouTubers analyze their statistics and kind of make better, kind of more engaging content, right? Basically, for people who really care about, the click through rates and everything like that. I personally, I will admit, I do care, I do look at those stats myself. But I think it's very unhealthy, to be honest, especially as regarding to my creative journey. If I can't make the content I want to make, what's the point? I will talk later about my personal view on this, but right now I kind of wanted to just kind of talk about this view stats thing. Now, obviously, every big YouTuber has essentially covered this, but if you haven't heard, Mr. Beast, in a tweet, which here's on screen, ViewStats just dropped AI thumbnails, and it takes the guesswork out of what thumbnails will perform. Uh, of okay, yeah. So just prompt what you're looking for, and it will generate the data-backed viral thumbnail. Now, I have two problems with this. Now, my first problem is that this will create essentially just a lot of sloppy thumbnails, like Mr. Beast look-alike thumbnails. You won't really get any originality. This is just complete AI slop. Like, I mean, if you're making a video on YouTube, it's not that hard to make a thumbnail yourself. Like, personally, I have been on both sides of the spectrum. I have spent 5 minutes on the thumbnail, and I have also spent like about 2 hours on the thumbnail, right? And I have also, changed thumbnails and all stuff like that. But I think essentially this will remove any kind of originality. And the biggest problem, or rather my second problem with this, is that he has essentially this tool has kind of this function where you can just look up a channel and I quote, inspire from their thumbnails, and it will generate quote inspired thumbnails, which is essentially like AI doesn't really inspire the same way humans do. Whenever a human looks at something like, okay, I want to make, like for example, thumbnails that look like Mr. Beast thumbnail, you won't go and copy the thumbnail. No, you will perhaps take the facial expression, perhaps you will take the composition, but you will create something unique. You won't create the same thing. And what this AI thing is doing is essentially taking all of those thumbnails and then literally just kind of putting them all together and just slapping your slop on it. It's just repurposing other thumbnails. It's not really doing anything other than that, right? And it also has this feature where essentially you take a thumbnail and you do a face swap. Now you may be like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah. You have a thumbnail from another YouTuber. You put your disgusting face in the little site. You press face swap, and this face on the other thumbnail is now your face. But the thumbnail is legit the same. And what I like is that about 4 years ago, Mr. Beast was complaining about this one Russian YouTuber who was copying his thumbnails and basically just face swapping them. And now Mr. Beast, 4 years later, is literally just like uploading a tool which you can pay for literally the same thing, which he was complaining about years ago. It was like, oh no, he's copying, like face swapping my thumbnails, which was, at least that guy was doing it in Photoshop. This is just literally just AI, which is totally no effort. In my opinion, this whole thing like view stats and everything like that. It's for those like tech bros, right? Those online AI slop YouTubers or like some companies, right? If, for example, like I don't know, like some big company which wants to advertise itself, but it doesn't have like any idea on how to make like any content, doesn't really want to pay for like 5 employees, right, to make content. It just okay, so it subscribes to Google's VO3, and then it subscribes to this view stats nonsense. Boom, you have thumbnail, you have video, good to go. Now, here's the main point of my video. What I wanted to talk about is that why do I think internet is dead? Now, what I've been recently fascinated by, which I kind of think people have completely forgotten about, is that the internet is a place where you can, in minutes, reach, communicate with a person on the literal other side of the globe. Like, I went on Reddit and I went on New York City Reddit and I was like, okay, how is like New York? What is it like living in New York City? I mean, can you imagine? And I got responses in like minutes. It is so crazy to think that we have the ability to actually genuinely connect with people on the other side of the world. But nowadays, it's all about like this AI, and I don't know, people just completely have stopped doing anything meaningful, and everything is just stats and how much money you can squeeze out of this, how many views you can get. Everything is just completely and utterly fake, right? And this AI thing, it allows any person, like to be honest, I'm gonna be honest here. The idea of making a YouTube channel, which creates like 10 AI videos, which get like millions of views and then make a lot of money, it's very appealing to me. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna be like lying to anybody. I have thought about doing it, and I might maybe do it. I just want to say that's a very unethical thing to do. It's very bad, and I think that the internet is just gonna get flooded with AI. I mean, just look at like, goddamn, like how many times have I opened like literally just this second, I watched Mutahar's, some ordinary gamers video about this topic, and literally the second I click off that video, I have a video in my recommended, uh, an AI video. It was like some history video, which I think, okay, one thing I will say about AI is that at least it gives us the ability to create and like kind of think of something, imagine it, and instantly like snap it into existence, which is kind of a good thing. But like, where's the line between, you know, why then we should draw? Why should we learn 3D software? Why should we film movies when we can just type a prompt? And I think one of the main things is that it completely takes the meaning out of it. Like, if you want to see, like, get a good depiction of what Rome was like, at its peak, like, sure, you can get that, but don't replace movies. Like, I still want a movie by a great director and great writers. I don't want an AI movie. Right. I mean, if you need, like a picture of what, I don't know, a good representation. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna go and be mad at like charts. I just, if you want to represent like, history or something, or if you want to create a mock-up of a house, for example, which you could build, that's okay. But like when you start replacing meaningful content and things that are meant to be created by humans for humans with AI slob, that's where you just draw the line, right? And like these AI thumbnails, like what's the point of even making a video? What is the point of making a YouTube video if you're just gonna completely AI it? If you're gonna ask ChatGPT, okay, give me the script of the video, then give me the thumbnail of the video. Hell, make the goddamn video itself. Like, what's the point? And some more like I'm very inspired by some ordinary gamers because he really brought this up. This is something I totally like agree with, and also want to kind of put my twist on it, right? Is that I said this in my earlier videos, right? Like I think it was my 100 videos video, which is basically YouTube for me is more of a journal, a diary of kind of myself, like literally broadcasting myself to people. And I kind of just not only want to share that, but I also kind of want to just simply document my life. And I will be honest, I have fallen into the checking stats and wanting views and wanting good engagement and all of that nonsense. I have fallen for that trap, I will be honest, but I think that essentially once I start focusing on that, I will completely burn myself out. Like, I mean, uh, even like my latest videos, like, my, not my tea video, but like my, Star Trek video, like that video, man, I spent a lot of time on that. Like, I thought like I recorded that thing like 10 times. I was like, editing that. I made the thumbnail like 5 different times, and I was like really focused on the stats and everything. It just completely, I almost burned myself out. Like, I caught that shit early, but like in general, like really, I think what's very important is to not really fall into that trap. But I think that the internet essentially is dying out because every site is the same. Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, they're all the same. Instagrams, they are all exactly the same, right? You have a profile, you have some sort of upload feature, right? You can upload text, you can upload an image, you can upload a video, you have some sort of comments feature, you have some sort of moderation, you have no customization whatsoever except your profile picture, bio, and your username, maybe a banner. Right, and that's it. And that's the internet of 2025. You don't have anything else. The only site that I can really say has that old internet vibe is NeoCities. NeoCities, which or it was basically we had this thing like GeoCities, but now we have like a NeoCities, which is like basically a place where you can just create a website. And I think that is kind of one of those things that, kind of gives people the ability to express themselves truly on the internet without no, like, need for, like, without greed, I guess, right? Because greed is a very powerful thing. I think the need for money and wealth, which I will be honest, I want that too. Like, I mean, who doesn't, right? But it's very powerful, and I think it's very corruptive. So that's kind of that. I mean, I'm not one of those people that says money is evil, but I think that people like the internet would be a much cooler place if people weren't so focused on creating the most engaging content but actually creating content that they themselves care about, right? And that's kind of my take on that, right? Hope you enjoyed. Hope my take was reasonable, right? I mean, I did heavily inspire from some ordinary gamers video, but I did think this originally. This is not just me, being brainwashed by one video. But I just Mr. Beast deleted that tweet too, so like he literally went back, but I checked the view stats site and it's still there. So I mean, he didn't totally remove it, but I mean, come on, Mr. Beast, he is the epitome of turning YouTube into a company, turning YouTube into a marketable business. And I mean, guys, YouTube was never meant to be a place to create a business. I mean, not in this. Obviously, it was always had the potential to give people the ability to get money, but it was never the place to create a corporate, you know, a kind of how do you say that corporate like vibe or something like that, right? I mean, Mr. Beast does cool stuff. Obviously, he has that philanthropy stuff. A recent video he uploaded. I mean, he saved one guy's, made him lose weight, which is like that's cool, I guess. But I really think that that kind of content is just way too much nowadays. And originality, it's a rare thing. Those guys like me, who just sit in front of a mic, talk, and then put some gameplay in the background. I mean, we can be replaced. I mean, have you seen what 11 Labs does? I mean, literally, I might as well be a script. I mean, how do you know? Maybe I'm just a robot. And today I will be talking about some bullshit that I wrote on that ChatGPT wrote on a script. Hello, I am a prompt. Yeah. Thank you for watching, guys. Subscribe, I guess, if you like my content. Leave a like, leave a dislike, whatever. And live long and prosper.